What's up, guys? I'm finally back. Gonna bring some more deck profiles, like I said before, get some matches in. Now it's kind of hard because of COVID-19 and all that stuff, but besides the point, I wanted to say I made a new TikTok, and the TikTok is about Dragon Ball cards. I'm gonna be giving 1 minute deck profiles there, and with a deck list at the end. If you don't want to watch the whole video on YouTube, you can just go to my TikTok and get the whole deck profile without any explanation. With this channel, I'm going to keep the deck profiles with explanations, so they'll be a little longer. But yeah, this is how it's going to be. I'll put my TikTok in the description below, and you guys will be able to check it out. Anyways, let's just get started with the deck. I just have this little token card I have. Alright, so we have the blue-green Piccolo Surge Leader. His auto is really cool and actually lets you draw twice on the beginning of your turn. You look at the top card. If you don't want it, you put it under, and then you draw, because it's the beginning of your turn. So this auto goes before you even draw, like game rule wise. So that's really cool, and the fact that you get to look up and see what you want and put it back if you don't want it is a very good mechanic. Awaken Surge, choose one blue-green card in your hand, put them under this card, draw 3, and turn one of your energy over to active mode. That's okay. You're really just drawing one card and restanding one, but it is good for searching, and you get to filter out your deck really well. Now we have Son Gohan and Piccolo. It's really cool in the character. Son Gohan actually pops up too, which is nice. And these are activate main battles. You choose one. If your life's at 3 or less, you take one card under, put it in the drop area. And your opponent chooses 2 cards in their hand and sends it to their warp, which is very good. You could make him take out 4 cards, really. You do it once in your activate main, and you pass turn. When they attack, you do it in their activate battle. Obviously, it's not how you have to do it, but it's very good. If you want to ramp or you need that extra energy push to do a cool play, choose one or blue-green card in your drop area, negate its energy exhaust, and place it in your energy. I don't use that one that often, but I have used it at times where it's very good. And I mainly just use the Warp 2 cards, because this is more of a hand destruction more than anything else. So now we have Senzu Bean. Senzu Beans activate battle, so you do it in your combo phase. You pay 1, whatever you give this card to, it gets 5,000 power, and you get to restand 2 your energy, which is great defensively or for pushes on your turn. And now we have Dimension Magic. Fantastic negate. You pay 1, negate, and then you get to restand 2 of your blue energy, which is, I don't need to say why, that is very, very good. You have more defensive plays, especially if you have dual color energy. Very good. Now we have this card, which I absolutely love. It's saved me so many times. I use it really more defensively than offensively. But you pay 1, if your leader card's green, I choose one of my leader cards or battle cards. It gains 15,000 power, and I get to take out one of my opponent's cards if all of my energy are green. They don't have to be mono green, they just need to have green in them. I do run in some issues what to charge, because this is a tricolor deck, not just blue-green. So charging cards for the auto to go off is a bit tricky, but most of the time I can pull it off, and when I do, this card's just insane. Now we have he's a really basic, everyone knows him. 1 drop, you attack, take a life, he gains 10,000 critical. Really good card. I have 3 green. I have 3 green Gohan, and then 2 yellow Piccolo. Like I said, tricolor deck, does exactly the same thing as Gohan. Now, my opinion, this card is completely better than Denial of Hope. It's blue-green, counterplay. If my opponent plays something that's 4 or less energy, I can pay 2. It gets played in the drop area, so the auto doesn't go off. And I get to restand one of my blue or green energy, which is great. It's essentially 1 energy to get a 4 or less down to the drop area. And it works out very well. Now, I would say this might be my favorite super combo because I can use it whenever I want. It's dual color, and my opponent chooses 1 card from their hand and places it in the drop in their deck. Now, I'm fine without the draw because the deck draws you a lot of the cards early game with the Unawakened Sides effect. So this is absolutely amazing. I love it. You can make your opponent take out 5 cards from their hand if you rush the effect and do the warp 2 twice and then super combo, but obviously you don't have to do it like that. Now this is where the deck is a little different from others. It has, instead of the blue or green dual color, it has green yellow. Why I use green yellow is because I take out the 6-drop Broly a lot, and I have the Super 17 card that I just think, I don't know, I just think me having yellow, I can use the deck more, and I can control the deck more. I do run into issues though, where I have to charge turn 1, I charge a green yellow, then turn 2, I charge a blue green, which also has energy exhaust, so I'm essentially only having 1 energy to use for my second turn, which puts me back a little bit depending who I'm playing, but obviously depending on your match, you change it up. I have, oh by the way, this isn't where energy exhaust, but most of everything there. Now Frost Elite Poison. It's a fantastic card. What sucks is now a lot of the good cards have deflect, but for other cards, like, not that Vegeta Baby's around much, but if you're playing that or just stuff like that, you pay 3 energy. The battle card's being played, gets the skills negated, gets in rest mode, you get to draw 1, and then if your life's at 3 or less, you restand 1 of your energy. Very good card. Okay, so Android 15 Vicious Vendetta. It's a great card. When you combo him, after the battle you get to play him, which is very good. You're essentially playing 1 energy for 3 cost, and for Successor that's great. The auto is I choose 1 or 2 lives. The second one, I choose 1 or 2 lives, add them to my hand. When I play this card during my opponent's turn, I could restand 1 of my energy, 1 of my green energy. That is very good for self-awakening purposes. If your opponent's stalling you out, you can take 2 cards and then restand 1 of your energy to maybe do it again, or if you have the 1-drop sell extra card or anything like that. Now we're getting to the counterplay packages. We have Chomp the Trickster. If you have a multicolor card in your energy, reduced by 1, you're gonna have it. When you play this card, choose 1 of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barriers, switch to rest mode, then draw 1 if it's my opponent's turn. This card is fantastic because it stops so many cards. It stops Jarens, it stops almost everything really. 7-drop Gogeta, all that stuff gets played in rest mode. Self-explanatory, can't attack. Now let's see. We have. Sorry about. Alexa, stop. I'm sorry about that. So we have Vegeta the Cruel. Super good card. It gets reduced by 1, so it's a 2-drop on my. If I have a multicolored card. When I play this card during my opponent's turn, I choose 1 of my opponent's battle cards 4 or less, KO it, choose 1 of my opponent's. No, then my opponent chooses 1 card in their hand, send them to their work. That's very good because let's say he has a couple cards out. If he plays a card and you Vegeta the Cruel, it doesn't have to be the card that's being played. It can be any card that's 4 or less, and the auto, where he drops the card, still goes off. Now, a really cool, easy thing I like to do is about turn 2, I play 1 of these 2 counter plays, or the 1-drop, the 3-drop Android, and then I'll bring him out. Okay, so this is probably the best card in the game, and why I say that is because for 2 energy, I get to play a 6-drop, and with Successor, you always want to play high battle cards with low energy. But when I play this card, he gets to choose. I get to choose 1 of my opponent's battle cards that's greater or equal to my opponent's current energy and KO it, which is an amazing card. The fact that it's an arrival, so they can go all in, and like I have KO a Victory Strike with this card because he goes all in. I paid, I combo green and yellow, pay 2, and I KO it. Or another great effect, I draw 1, then choose 1 of my opponent's cards and switch it to rest mode. That's fantastic because it can be energy cards. It can be energy. It can be battle cards or even the leader. So it can be all of that. And I would say another MVP in the deck is 2 Scientist Fu. In so many scenarios, I have ended my opponent with this. Late in the game, their hands kind of, depending on the deck, their hands running kind of low. I've used his effect, I've used cells, I've used my super combos, I've used my 1-drop Gohans and Krillins, and it's just great knocking them down to 2 with no cards in hand, and then playing a Scientist Fu. You see this card more than you think. 2, I think, is a great number. 3, you might see it too much. 4, obviously it's bad. 2, great number. And now we have for the biggest battle card. And depending what cards you get in the game are how you're going to play it. And why I say that is because if you get the pieces you need to bring him out, you're not going to attack you later. And I'll explain why. It's a 9-drop, so the energy needs to add up to 9 green and yellow cards on your battlefield. He has critical, energy exhaust, successor, 3 energy, and I'll explain how all that stuff works. Although when I play this card, I choose all my opponent's life until they have 4 and put them in the drop area. So it's if you don't attack them and they don't self-awaken, that's 4 less cards that they get from their hand in the drop area. You're leaving them to awaken, but really it doesn't matter. Because if you swing with this 30k crit and they don't have a negate, they're not going to combo up it. Because they're going to be wasting their whole hand to stop a 30k crit. So if everything goes to plan, you'd be knocking them down to 3 lives, which is very good. And when he attacks, I draw 1 and choose 2 of my opponent's cards and switch into rest mode. Again, that's very good because I switch their energy to rest mode. If I bring this out early, I can bring this out turn 3. And if I bring it out turn 3 and switch 2 of their energies to rest mode, they almost have to take the attack because I doubt they'll have Sparking 5 or anything like that. And now I'm going to show you how the deck works. Now, if you want to bring out this 9-drop Super 17, you need to have these cards in your hand. Not all of them. You need to have at least 1 Super Saiyan Broly, and 1 of these, preferably 2, in case one of them gets counterplayed or they remove 1. Just 1 of these cards, because turn 3, what you do is you don't attack with the leader at all. You want your opponent to take 4 crit. So, and what's great, you don't have to attack to draw. Lots of leaders you have to attack to draw. Hey, he just draws 2, which is amazing. So, you would find your way to play 1 of these cards. Let's say you play him for 2 energy. Pass turn. Then you go rival. You could remove 1 of their cards, or preferably you want to do this on their turn so you can KO 1 of their cards or do anything like that. But if you can't, just go play him. You can wait next turn. What successor is that you take a green and yellow card, put them in the drop area, you pay 3 energy, and then you get to play them for the 3 energy. So, because it adds up to 9. Yeah, the energies add up to 9. So then you get to play them. So, you need the Broly in hand for this to work, and you just need 1 of these 3 drops. And that's why I put quite a bit. So, you have answers to opponents' cards, and you have answers for yourself. Then answers to more opponents' cards, and then you answer their life. So this deck, in my opinion, is all around very good. And yeah, check out my TikTok. I'm gonna be making a 1-minute deck profile for this. And yeah, thank you guys for watching.